Good morning, and welcome to the Leocore Center for today's commencement. We are appreciative of the opportunity to host our 124th graduation ceremony in such a spacious venue, allowing us to be together in person with all of our family and friends. To ensure the safety and enjoyment of all guests at today's ceremony, I ask each of you to cooperate with the Upper Darby High School staff, our security team, the Temple University Safety Department, and to please follow all of their directions and requests. Our graduation has always been and will continue to be a dignified and distinguished event. We pride ourselves on the fact that we take the time to read the name of each student and recognize each as a graduate of Upper Darby High School. Therefore, I ask that each guest please comply with the following procedures. Please silence your cell phone and refrain from calling or texting during the ceremony. Any photos that you wish to take must be taken from your seat. We have professional photographers that will be capturing the special moments, such as the procession and each student receiving a diploma. All guests need to remain seated for the entire ceremony. This allows for an orderly procession of students as they enter and exit the ceremony. The use of artificial noisemakers is strictly prohibited. And please be mindful and respectful, as every guest and student has the right to hear the name of each graduate as they are honored. Thank you for doing your part to make this a distinguished and memorable day. Now, please join me in welcoming the members of the Upper Darby High School graduating class of 2022. Graduates, please remain standing. Remain standing. At this time, I would like to introduce Randy Lane, Vice President for the Class of 2022, who will lead us in the honoring of America. Encore singers from the Class of 2022, please join the other encore singers at this time.
Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem.
Please be seated.
Hello, good morning. I am Timothy Tran, President for the Class of 2022. I wish to welcome members of the Board of School Directors, Central Administration, High School and District Administration, faculty, parents, families, friends, and you, the Class of 2022. Upper Darby High School is the oldest high school in Delaware County and one rich in tradition and history. Our high school has been established in educating students of Upper Darby, Drexel Hill, Clifton Heights, Sea Cane, Milbourne, and parts of East Lansdowne for 125 years. Upper Darby High School first opened its doors in 1895 and graduated 5 students under the leadership of the school's lone faculty member, Miss Elizabeth D. Turner, in 1896. In stark contrast, the class of 2022 will graduate over 990 students with the support and guidance of over 250 professional staff members. Upper Darby High School is proud of its rigorous and rich curriculum that features traditional core academic courses and the widest variety of elective offerings. We pride ourselves in continuously working to meet the needs of our widely diverse student population. There is a pathway for every student at UDHS, the largest high school in the county and one of the largest in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Our students are a celebration of the extracurricular offerings that enrich their experiences, from our award-winning athletic and music programs to our countless student-run clubs and activities. The class of 2022 has lived up to our school district motto, opportunity, unity, and excellence. At this time, I would like to introduce Jasmine Rashid, treasurer for the class of 2022.
Good morning. I am Jasmine Rashid. I have the privilege of introducing the Upper Darby High School Encore Singers. The Upper Darby Encores will now perform Omnia Soul under the direction of Miss Larissa Cleary.
Somewhere far from nowhere, I grew both strong and tall. Good morning. I am Justine Carr, Secretary of the Class of 2022. At many schools, the great honor of speaking during the commencement ceremony goes to the top two academically ranked students in the class, as valedictorian and salutatorian. Upper Darby High School chooses its speakers in a different manner, hoping to get a more accurate representation of our large and diverse student body by offering this opportunity to all of its graduating seniors. It is my pleasure to introduce the three seniors chosen to address their fellow graduates. Please welcome our first speaker, Rakaya Iqbal.
Good morning to the administration, faculty and staff, and the class of 2022. We've made it. My name is Rakaya Iqbal, and I am honored to speak to you all today. Before I begin, I'd like to take a moment to thank the faculty and staff, parents and family who have guided us to this moment. It has been challenging, but rewarding, and we would not have made it this far without you. Our journey to this point began 12 years ago. We left a comfortable and familiar place and stepped forth into the unknown, unaware it was uniting us with strangers who would become companions and friends as we worked together to reach this very special point. And now, after years of traveling alongside one another, this road separates into over 990 distinctive pathways. Today, I am filled with conflicting feelings as I stand before you. I'm sure my peers can sympathize with me on this. For starters, and most clearly, I am filled with a tremendous sense of accomplishment and happiness. My classmates and I have worked hard over the last 4 years to be able to stand here today and say we have earned the right to be here. It was far from easy, and there were many occasions when I wondered if I would be able to stand here. However, it is the difficulties that makes moments like this more enjoyable. The graduates who sit before me here today have overcome an uncountable amount of obstacles along the way. As we graduate from Upper Darby High School, I'm sure there'll be many times when we question ourselves, doubt our abilities, and even believe we do not belong. And that is okay. To quote author James Joyce, "Better pass boldly into the other world in the full glory of some passion than fade and wither dismally with age." This remark, I believe, is exemplified by our class. I've seen all of us discover and commit ourselves to our passions throughout the years and have all grown tremendously as a result. Future artists, scientists, activists, legislators, healthcare experts, and so much more can be found among us today. While I am eager to continue my academic pursuits, my feeling of reluctance arises from the fact this ceremony marks the end of a 12-year journey. While I know UD has thoroughly prepared me, I am filled with a deep sense of anxiety and sadness to leave the accepting walls of Upper Darby High School. Of course, the comfort I found at UD makes me a little worried about leaving, but with worry comes excitement, and the end of one adventure signifies the start of a new one. I would like to thank my fellow students for making the past 4 years into a memorable one. It has been an honor to be a part of this class. While we don't know what the future holds, we will always have what it takes to conquer it. It is critical to recognize that our future is not just something that occurs to us. Our future is something we create. As we go forth as royals, let us remember that as we take on new roles and responsibilities, we will always be the class of 2022. We'll always be Upper Darby. Once a royal, always a royal. Please welcome our next speaker, Nora Zakreski.
Good morning, distinguished administrators and educators, family and friends, and to my fellow graduates, a very special good morning to you. Today, I stand before you fully aware of just how difficult it was to get here. It is a huge accomplishment for us all to be gathered here today, considering what this class has had to endure. In March of 2020, we were a bunch of sophomores excited to have 2 weeks off. Those 2 weeks turned into almost a year and a half of asynchronous learning and canceled activities. We had no way to foresee that when we left school that day, we wouldn't return until we were seniors. It's easy to look at our high school experience as negative. I certainly used to. But over the course of this year, I've realized that our experience wasn't bad, it was just different. And if there's one thing I've learned from my time here at Upper Darby, it's the beauty of difference. As the most diverse school in the county, Upper Darby has given us an experience far beyond education. This school has surrounded us with all different cultures, backgrounds, and people. We walked through the halls and heard several different languages being spoken, and we sat in classes with people born in other countries. It's important that we don't take these experiences for granted. They are what has prepared us for the real world, where we'll meet people who are different from us and face things that we are not used to facing. So, just as we've embraced our unique school, I encourage us to embrace our unique school experience. Instead of being disappointed in all we've missed out on, be proud of how we adapted. The many sacrifices we have made are only a testament to our strength. We completed junior year from our rooms. We lost dances, inductions, sports seasons, concerts, and despite it all, we are here today. The diplomas we'll receive will not only represent the academic accomplishment of graduating high school, but also the extreme perseverance we've had to exhibit in order to do so. Not many other classes will be able to say that they've been through what we've been through, and I am extremely proud to be a part of the class of 2022. So, my fellow graduates, as we leave here today and move forward, let us do so embracing change, respecting one another, and knowing that we are prepared for whatever comes next. Thank you all, and congratulations, graduates. Please welcome our next speaker, Alonzo Good.
As I stand here looking out into the crowd, all I can think is, wow, look at how far we have come. For most of us, it was 2009 when our scholastic journey began. And no, I do not remember it like it was yesterday because it wasn't. It was more than a decade ago that our parents sent us out with book bags that were bigger than us, lunch boxes we could barely carry, and a set of rules and morals that would shape us into the adults you see seated here before you today. We jumped onto a school bus to spend half of the day at a kindergarten center. As the bus pulled away, our parents looked at us with tears in their eyes. I like to imagine them thinking, wow, our babies are finally growing up. But in reality, they were probably just excited to have the house to themselves for once. However, whatever the reason for the tears were, they understood what Mark Twain meant when he said, "The secret of getting ahead is getting started." They knew that it was time to entrust us to a set of folks who chose to dedicate themselves to the educational needs of their children. When I think about how long ago that was, it is truly something to behold to see us in this audience today. Today, our parents are yet again standing here with tears in their eyes. This time, there are no book bags or lunch boxes. There are only tassels and diplomas. We are not going to hop on a school bus only to return mid-afternoon. We are set to travel the open road and make a way for ourselves. To our parents, Jackie Robinson said, "A life is not important." And to our parents and teachers, Jackie Robinson said, "A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives." And we are a living testament to the impact you have had on our lives. We are here graduating in a position to live life to our fullest potential. Because you sacrificed, because you taught us, and because you guided us and had patience. Dr. Seuss said, "You will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory." As I look back and think about the most valuable parts of our scholastic journey, it has to be you, the supporting cast. Let's take a moment to give every teacher, every school official, all the parents and family members a round of applause. Without you, we would not be here. To the graduating class of 2022, wow. Not only have we had to overcome, but we had to work hard to get here. I am proud of every graduating student in here. It is hard enough growing out of childhood, going through adolescence, and then growing into adulthood. But to top it all off, we had to endure one of the most trying times of our lifetime and possibly our parents' lifetime. COVID-19 shook the world and brought us to our knees. But like Maya Angelou said, leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise, I rise, I rise. The pandemic taught us simply what it means to be human, to know we are vulnerable, yet resilient, at risk, yet strong enough to conquer, and at our core, good. We, as the graduating class of 2022, had to become the backbone of our economy. We had to stand on front lines. We had to help sick family members. We had to hold the hands of society. In reality, we had to become adults. We are in a unique position to know what most young adults did not know on their day of graduation, that we can do it because we did it. We know that in the worst times, we will always be at our best. So to the graduating class of 2022, it is time to rise and become the guardians of today. Bob Marley said, "Live for yourself, live in vain, live for others, and you will live again." We must leave a legacy and continue to contribute in our own special way so that the world can move forward, so we can end world hunger, save the environment, cure cancer, end racism, close the economic divide, improve the healthcare system, and make education free for all. This is our time to rise and be the change we want to see in the world. Thank you to everybody in the audience who helped make this day possible, and to you, the graduating class of 2022. Thank you.
Wow, how do you top that? Let's give it up for our student speakers. Now it is my honor to introduce Dr. Daniel P. McGarry, Superintendent of Schools, who will present the graduates and offer congratulatory remarks.
Speech first, right? Sorry, each year I skip a part of this, but first and foremost, what a moment, class of 2022. What a moment. Congratulations. I'm so excited to be able to be here with all of you and to share in just another important step along your life's journey. Right now, I'm sure all of you are thinking, just hurry up. I want to celebrate, right? That's fair. I promise to keep my comments brief. It's only 23 pages. So that you are rightfully able to celebrate one of the first of many significant life accomplishments. As the superintendent of schools, today is one of the most important days of the year. To be honest, every day is important, but there is nothing quite like the opening of a school year and graduation. Today, for obvious reasons, I will focus on graduation. When I provide these remarks each year, I try to focus on providing all of you with realistic, honest points of reference, and this morning, I wanted to focus my comments on a request that I have of all of you. Before I share my request, I would like to acknowledge that your journey to this moment has certainly not been easy, and the past 3 years have provided all of us with life-altering challenges. I would like to acknowledge that the adult decisions we were faced with over the past 3 years have been most unkind to our youth, to all of you. I am sorry that the past 3 years have been so difficult and frustrating. With this apology in mind, I thought I would share with you that while the past 3 years have been unnerving and disheartening, I do feel a tremendous amount of hope and optimism for all of you. Let me explain. One evening following a late and turbulent public meeting, I was provided a podcast to listen to by our very own school district solicitor, Mr. Kyle Berman. Mr. Berman provided me with a link to a podcast called The Graying of America. It's an NPR podcast by Stacey Vanek Smith and Alana Samuels from May 10th, 2022. Here were some interesting points provided by the NPR podcast on the graying of America. The U.S. is aging while the birth rate is falling. Just like countries in Europe, right now, 10,000 baby boomers turn 65 every day. As they retire, their employees are finding themselves short-staffed. Economists are calling this the demographic drought. We are aging while the birth rate is falling. It is estimated that 2.1 babies, and I read this to my kids last night, they don't know how can you have 2.1 babies, but forget that part, it's math. It's estimated that 2.1 babies must be born to an individual in order to catch up. The podcast focuses on a small community of roughly 9,000 residents in Hanover, New Hampshire, a community considered one of the oldest and perhaps one of the oldest states in the United States. Now, I want to be mindful of my audience. I know that getting older can be a touchy subject, but consider this fact. By 2030, and this is just in New Hampshire, a third of their population will be 65 years old and older. A third of their population. So how is any of this positive? The focus of my comments today are not meant to inform you that you are getting older, although you are. My comments are not meant to focus on the aging workforce shortage in New Hampshire or in the country. Instead, this very interesting podcast provided me with this very simple, unifying thought. The podcast offered some solutions to the workforce shortages we are facing as a country. And they ranged from autonomous machines and the simple fact, as we all know, that we're going to be expected and anticipate to pick up more responsibilities with less compensation. I'm going to save those comments for the class of 23, so I'll spare you my thoughts on that today. But as I was driving home from the last public meeting I held, I was listening to this podcast and saying to myself, okay, is the solicitor for the school district just trying to stress me out even more, that we're getting older and we're not going to fill jobs? Instead of stopping, I continued to play the podcast, and the point hit me. The very clear, simple, and direct message hit me. There is no question that we are facing very challenging times as a society, and the solutions are wide-ranging. But as the podcast continued to play, these simple facts stood out to me. All of the work that we do, and the work that you will do, all of it is really about providing a service, either directly or indirectly to other people. Sometimes you're in direct contact with those whom you serve, and other times you may be more behind the scenes. But every job that we do is a service to other people. You are entering the next developmental stage of your life. It is exciting, and you will have opportunities to find a career path that works for you. You will make life decisions that we, all of us, hope are best for you. More importantly, however, as your classmates shared, the world needs you. Now more so than ever, society needs a unifying presence, a a focus on social emotional intelligence, and diverse leaders who know how to accept and appreciate one another, especially other people. Class of 22, I hope you've come to realize that you have the skill, the social and emotional intelligence, and fortitude to succeed and thrive in the next phase of your life. As you look to your left and your right, in front of you and behind of you, you are surrounded by the future of this country, close to 1,000 people just in this room. You are surrounded by people who represent over 80 different cultures, and you are surrounded by the future workforce of the United States of America. Exchange numbers, if you have not already done so. Remain in contact, and keep in mind that you have thousands of Upper Darby kids all over the country and even the world. As a society, we are stuck in a whirlwind of frustration. Emotional rhetoric rules the day, and the person who gets to social media first with their version of the story can control the narrative. Yet despite the economics of this reality and what economists are saying, a drought, we have some control over how we influence people to work in service to one another. Here's what resonated with me the most from the podcast as a solution to some struggles we currently face as a society. What I'm about to say and go through may be overly simple and corny, but here goes. Wherever you go, remember that we all serve one another. Our actions and words matter, and we have the opportunity to bring people closer together by listening and keeping perspective. After I heard about all the potential solutions to the issues we face, the hosts of the podcast boiled everything down to this, and this is my request. Be kind and caring to other people. That's it. Wherever you go, whoever you interact with, be kind and caring to other people. From one Upper Darby Royal to others, you are the very best of us, and you are absolutely the final word of our tagline, excellence. Congratulations, class of 22. Thank you for some of your clapping. I usually screw this next part up. So, by the powers vested in me as a commissioned officer of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I hereby present the Upper Darby High School graduating class of 2022 to the president, extremely proud president, of the Upper Darby Board of School Directors, Mr. Edward Brown.
I know this is a solemn occasion and it's serious, but can we have a little bit of fun? All right. Good morning, Upper Darby graduates. Are you as happy as I am? Let's treat it like we're at the Roots picnic. I can't hear you. Are you as happy as I am? You are here. You did it. My name is Ed Brown, and I'm the president of the Upper Darby Board of School Directors, and I bring you greetings and well wishes from my fellow school board directors, many of which are in that amazing suite behind you, cheering you on. Wave team, if you would. They're waving if you look straight back there. I don't care how many times I've had the honor of giving this speech, it is always a highlight and honor of my school year. I can only hope that you are as proud of yourselves as I am of all of you. You will never forget this day. I remember my own high school graduation just like it was yesterday, and I've had a few college graduations since then, but high school is your first big graduation, and it will be embedded in your memory for all of time, and that's a great thing. Let me tell you why. You are proven by the fact that you are sitting here today that you are strong, resilient, and determined. You have persevered through a global pandemic and uncertainty and world events that would have hindered someone without your resolve and focus. No one would have blamed you if you wavered and needed time to regroup, but you didn't, and now you sit here triumphant. Please humor me for a second. Give your parents, yourselves, your family, your village, and all of your support system a round of applause and a standing ovation, please. Just for a minute. Just for a minute, everybody. Let's give everybody in the audience, everybody in your support system, everybody in your orbit, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you, graduates. I think they're proud of you. I think your village is proud of you. All right, you got to let me finish before I start sweating. It's hot up here. Our motto in the Upper Darby School District is opportunity, unity, and excellence. I can think of no better words that describes the essence of this class. As a result of you now being UD strong, which is what you all are, you have a multitude of opportunities, and the world is now your oyster. Sitting among you are engineers, doctors, lawyers, nurses, teachers, craftsmen, plumbers, painters, counselors, therapists, whatever your heart desires. You are unified because as a result of being a part of the UD family, you are bound for life by the DNA you share, forged over 4 years together. Here is something that I want you to consider. Some people mistakenly believe that a quality education can only be had by attending an expensive private school. In fact, in your case, the opposite is true. Because of your Upper Darby education, you received the best education from the best teachers and thrived in a diverse environment that has equipped your toolbox with the skills that will enable you to flourish wherever your path takes you. Please honor your commitment to yourself, your fellow students, and your teachers by reaching for the stars and maximizing your potential and expecting the very best that life has to offer. The only barrier you will face will be the limits of your imagination. Please know that you are good enough, smart enough, and destined to succeed. With that said, also be happy. Find out what brings you joy and sustains you and has you leaping out of bed in the morning. I have worked at my job as an engineer for the past 20 years, and I still can't wait to get to work every day since no 2 days are the same. My son taught me a valuable lesson recently. He taught me that success doesn't equate to happiness and contentment. Life is too short and your mental well-being is paramount. It is also okay not to have it all figured out. You are young, so it's okay to try different things to find out what scratches your itch and brings you joy. You may go to college next year and think you have your major all figured out, but along the way, you may change your mind and go in a different direction, and that's okay. You may start at a trade school and start working and decide you want to change paths. Find your passion and what makes you happy. Time is on your side. It's where you finish, not where you start. In conclusion, I ask you to challenge yourself as you start this next chapter. Shoot for the stars and don't settle for less. Live and flourish and don't just exist. Thanks to your teachers, your family, and everyone else in your circle, there is no limit to the heights that you can reach. Reward them for the time, support, and love that they have invested in you and make them all proud by being successful and happy. I salute you and thank you for all your hard work in getting here. Today, be loud and proud. Can we all shout can we all shout UD on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. At this time, will the members of the National Honor Society, the National Art Honor Society, the National English Honor Society, the National French Honor Society, the National Spanish Honor Society, the National Technical Honor Society, the National Science Honor Society, and Rho Kappa please stand and be recognized for your achievements? Thank you. Thank you. Senior Class President Timothy Tran, can you please join me at the podium? Come on down. Great speech, by the way, great speech. As President of the Board of School Directors of the Upper Darby School District, it is my honor to award you the first diploma of the Upper Darby High School graduating class of 2022. It is also my pleasure to confer diplomas to Vice President Randy Lane, Secretary Jasleen Carr, and Treasurer Jasmine Rashad. And now our speakers, Rukaya Iqbal, Nora Zakreski, and Alonzo Good for that fantastic speech. Mr. Tran, I think you have the next part.
Hello again. Dear parents, relatives, and guests, high school graduation is a milestone in our lives that we will never forget. We feel this is an extremely special time, not just for us, but for our families as well. Each of us has worked hard for this moment and deserves the utmost respect during this ceremony. On behalf of the entire senior class, we ask that you please refrain from cheering or yelling while the graduates' names are announced. Your silence will allow the seniors to enjoy their special moment with dignity. Respectfully, we request that all guests remain seated until the complete list of graduates have been announced, and please hold your applause until all students have been honored. Thank you on the behalf of class of 2022.
Thank you. And please welcome Ms. Morris, Mr. Haynes, and Ms. Dawson to the podium, who will read the name of each graduate receiving a diploma today.
Zuhar Ansem, Fatiha Azmi, Kosanike Diane Barnes, Olanika Diana Barnes. Lamia Bigham, Olivia Chamberlain, Hugh Cleland Batt, Rafif El-Said. Noor Farrison, Nicholas Fatizo, Anna Fatizo, Antonio Fiorentino Wong. Tessa Ford, Zane Foster, Aiden Gallo, Albert Giatti.
Juliana Wynn, Nayab Iqbal, Hasanatu Kamora, Samuel Kimmel. Candide Seo, Molly McGee, Amelia Mickens, Sebastian Mostek.
Renee Purnell, Mosfikar Rahman, Krista Ramdas, Sana Saad, Emma Shalaba, Principal Singh, Harnor Singh, Sabrina Ta, Nishat Tasnin, Alex Tai, Jocelyn Tito, Faith Weaver, Hong Lakana Yi,
Joshua Atkinson, Kenneth Bruce, Connor DeStefano. Tehran Goldsboro, Emma Gray.
Charles Jones, Michaela McKinney. Antonio Milak.
Leah Turf, John Wagner.
Mohammed Shabazz Abbasi, Amir Abdallah, Raneem Adaradi, Marwan Abdel Razik. Lena Abdul Wahab, Asaya Abdul Sabor, Zachariah Abudari, Nazik Abudaya. Altoloni Akorde, Victoria Adams, Christina Adams, Jeremiah Adeliki, Dan Aidens. Casey Augusto, Ahmed Ahmed, Soraya Ahmed, Shabab Alam. Yazin Alam, Hamza Alam, Nicole Alexander, Syed Faraz Ali. Sharjeel Ali, Amir Akore, Aisha Alab, Gianna Allen. Aisha Allen, Jordan Allen Slaughter, Abdurrahman Al-Said, Jaden Austin. Isan Amin, Eliza Amjad, Ramadan Am, Sadiq Anderson Frank. Alan Andrews, Christopher Andrews, Noel Anayinkaju, MD Harun R. Rashid, Sadman Arabi, Kayla Archibald, Nicholas Ardito, Caleb Argetta. Liliana Argetta, Axel Arida, Darrell Arida, Ashley Arizmendi. Sharif Armstrong Giddings, Fentala Aroa, Jason Otterberry, Isaac Ashley. Sean Atwood, Kaylee Acapena, Tylene Bagley, Abdu Ba. Mudasir Bahardar, Skylar Balista, Oscar Villanueva, Benegas, Abu Bakar Bangara. Kendra Barbie Dennis, Brandon Barksdale, Tymir Barnes, Angel Barnes. Alpha Berry, Jenabu Berry, Connor Batista, Zaira Baines. Aiden Bazile, Amiria Beadle, Shakira Beal, Laura Bell. Carissa Bell, Rayana Benjamin, Malaysia Bennett Lewis, Pedro Bernal San Diego. Destiny Bertier, Nabin Busal, Logan Biddle, Tina Bijou. Mohammed bin Alam, Miracle Blaylock, Angela Boacha, Maima Bogar. Colin Bonner, Lola Borick, Jefferson Borja Barrera, Kayla Bostic. Shania Bowser, Dan Bradley, Robin Bradley, Bonadine Bradshaw. Michael James Branca, Jeffrey Branch, Harrison Bricklin, Shania Brooks. Shannon Brophy, Angela Brophy, Wilhelmina Bropla, Quincy Brown. Cameron Brown, Pat Brown, Alicia Brown, Olivia Brusco. Lamaya Bryant, Saidia Bumpers, Andrew Burks, Jameer Burnett. Najee Usi Reynolds, Alicia Butler, Anaya Bynum, Matthew Bird. Rivaldo Call Tux, Eric Cabrera, James Cahill, Jennifer Calderon Cifuentes. Lourdes Calderon Blemmings, Fabrice Calixte, Mackenzie Campbell, Vincent Campbell. Nyla Campbell, Alberto Campos Jr., Stephen Camberverde, T. Pamela Cando Villa. Lexi Canarino, Zane Capara, Angeles Cardenas Bermeo, Jakir Carter. Sarah Carter, Natalie Cartmel, Karen Carvente, Zachary Casimir. Gia Queso, William Catlett Jr., Courtney Cavalier, Kirsten Cayeso. Reggie Charles, James Charlier, Desmond Cheeseborough, Samaj Cherry. Samuel Chester, Saman Chowdhury, Tahia Chowdhury, Armand Chowdhury. Alix Mateo, Chubb Pop, Sahil Chumber, Keisha Churchville, Cassandra Ciampi. Amira Clark, Kwasir Clark, Noel Clark, Tiana Clyburn. Danielle Coe, Naeem Coleman, Celicia Coles, Kwamira Calero. Colin Collier, Elizabeth Collins, Hynif Collins, Brandon Cologne. Nicholas Conaway, Laura Ann Conover Floyd, Mibinti Conti, Benji Carozzo. Akila Kuzar, Jabe Cox, Brendan Crespo, Jamira Crisden. Aaliyah Crooks, James Crowder, Nair Crump, Brandon Crumpton. Nicholas Cucalino, Jada Cuevas Hamas, Asia Cuff, Autumn Cuff. Alana Cuneo, Sandro Cusco, Jaden Dade, Uzman Danyago. Kais Damani, Khadijah Days, Yagin Dalal, Natalie Dang. Shuvam Dangal, Anaya Daniel, Haley Danielson, Giovanna Denisi. Jada Dantzler, Amadou Darami, Angelique Darius, Abhijit Das. Jason Davis, Amir Davis, Damir Davis, Shania Davis. Taylor Davis, Henry Davis III, Maurice R. Base-Dayard, Timir Days, Ariane Dean, Danielle D., Michael DeFrank, Amani Dahibi, Antoine Delarme, Sarah DeLeon, Layla Deloach, Katisa Dennis, Mia Dennis, Nolan Dermany, Ariana Devan, Shamar Devan, Inijali Diaz, Frank DeDaniel III, Jada Dixon, Amanda Doe, Anthony Dodaro, Terrence Doe, Musa Donzo, Kamani Dorn, Wendy Dorsonville, Bryce Dorsey, Papa Decor, Matea Dugal, Kayla Doherty, Lizabelle Downer, Philomena Draper, Geneva Drivianco, Lexi Dramick, Liam Duarte, Marlon Dubriel, Treyville Dumont, Jameer Dunbar, Cordelia Dunstan, Zion Dusek, Kwamir Edwards, Jose Island, Abigia Ijagu, Mohammed El Maliji, El Hadi El Hassan, Aziza Ellison, Taylor Emmanuel Jackman, Aubrey Ennis, Samira Epps, Axel España, Samuel Estefanos, Alice Etienne, Miles Charles Evans, Keith Ewell, Tazray Farbez, Iftikhar Farhan, Abira Fatima, Katie Feliz, Angelina Fennel, Travis Ferreira, Marvin Spills Amy, Damon Fine, Trey Fine, Zachary Finley, Khalil Fletcher Stevenson, Robert Flores España, Elena Flynn Sullivan, Abraham Fofana, Ibrahima Fofana, Mohammed Fofana, Yusuf Fofana, Elise Ford, Nadia Foster, Elena Fralin, Cameron Francis, Amasia Frazier Rodney, Corey Freeman, Theo Frampon, Paige Frith, Rosalind Fuentes Gill, Naomi Fuman, Jameer Fertrell, Benji Evans Gala, Gadil Galindo, Silvana Gallagher, Masia Gamble, Camille Garrett, Ayana Gatewood, Tori Gattuso, Taylor Gattuso, Wendy Gavilanes, Joanne Gay, Michaela Bayer, Saini Bowley, Qualo G, Mackenzie George, Nicholas Garrick, Asaya Gorfa, Stanley Gian, Zelda Gilbert, Joshua Gill, Charles Gillum, Joseph Giorgio, Keon Glenn Poteet, Josh Godoy, Andres Gonzalez Flores, Jason Gonzalez Jr., Michael Good, Jada Goff, Cameron Grable, Rachel Graham, Andre Graham, Samantha Grandizio, Amari Granger, Ryan Gray Anderin, Kenyon Green, Kalila Green, Brendan Gross, Victoria Guerrera, Jonathan Guevara, Aaliyah Gian, Zanaya Gilroy, Alanis Guzman, David Guzman, Edwin Guzman Chuva.
Chung Ha, Matthew Haley, Tijan Hamilton, William Hamilton. Bethany Harding, Xander Harper, Omarion Harris, Amir Harris. Micaiah Hassan Davis, Anum Hassan, Nahid Hassan, Garisha Hay. Shanae Hay, Princess Hayes, Mackenzie Hayes, Grace Healy. Michael Healy, Tymir Hurd, Jameer Henderson, Tanasha Henry. Quanisha Herder, Marilyn Hernandez, Lamont Hester, Aaliyah Height, Freddie Hujudi, Danaja Hill, Zaire Hill, Jameer Hill, Orion Hilliard, Anthony Ho, Mania Holloway, Questier Holloway, Kayla Holmes, Brianna Hung, Covenant Horace, Christopher Horton Jr., Arif Hussein, Kasid Hussein, Arusha Hussein, Sabia Hussein, Onika Hussein, Muhammad Hussein, Caesar Howard, Saeem Howe, Jonathan Huber, Ariel Hudson, Tavon Hunt, Joshua Ingram, Kyla Isaac Timbers, Isabel Wegner, Anthara Islam, Soraya Islam, Julie Israel, Aaron Jackson, Omoya Jackson, Anaya Jackson, Sierra Jackson, Draquan Jackson, Janira Jackson, Ramir Jackson, Tyler Jackson DeFrank, Abdul Jalla, Fatima Jalla, Daimir James, Jocelyn Jara, Samaya Jarman, MD Jawad, Leica Jean Louise, Alyssa Jean Noel, Hughley Jean Felipe, Tahia Jennifer, Jada Jackson, Jada Jenkins, Ajir Jenkins, Wilmer Javier Jimenez, Katrina John, Anaya Johnson, Anaya Ray Johnson, Alicia Johnson, Aaliyah Johnson, Jada Johnson, Aaliyah Jones, Jordan Jones, Nile Jordan Adana, Jarena Joy, Carmeli Jules, Billy Caller, Fatmata Kai, Fatima Kamal, Hassanatu Kamara, Makima Kamara, Ibrahim Kamara, Amelia Kaplan, Hawanatu Kargbo, Sar Karimu, Erin Carnley, Tina Karhu, Mariam Kasim, DeWitt Kasey, Parminda Kaur, Dara Marie Kay, Nimdu Kala Leg, Emily Keller, Natalie Keller, Caroline Kelly, Khalil Kemp, Marcus J. Kennedy, Shane Kennedy, Aaliyah Kirkaloo, Ryan Curley, Dia Khan, Shadman Khan, Haider Khan, Anand Khan, Natalie Kensai, Sammy Kobayashi, Lucia Kali, Mariam Konecki, Medina Kora, Mariam Kumura, Githu Kuravilla, Gabrielle Cutner Rodriguez, Javier Cutner Rodriguez, Hoon La, Gracie Liliana Landaveri, Soledad Laura Flores, Frankie Larrent, Eva Laurie, Danielle Lavin, Julian Laventure, Gabriel Lazur, Joe Lay, Ludmilla Lil, Marcus Lecomte, Nakia Lee, Sean Lee, Sarah Lira, Richard Leone, Joshua Lavelle, Kiana Lewis, Austin Lai, Nicholas Liberio III, Rizvi Lycan, Danielle Linton, Andrea Lajano, Victoria Lombard, Brandon Lopez, Brianna Lopez, Osman Lopez Belosa, William Lopez Mayorga, Madison Lohr, Ryan Lozier, Jacinta Love, Ivana Liu, Duong Lai, Sophia Lyons, Emily McMullen, Jada McWilliams, Hiroshima Mai, Win Mai, Nicholas Mariano, Lashanta Majid, Dylan Milano, Bria Manick, Hafsatu Mansoure, Tanae Mansoure, Angela Marinelli, Shane Marshall, Marcus Martin, Siani Mason, Melvana Masaleh, Saku Masakwai, Troy Massey, Dalton Master, Blessed Matthew, Isabella Matthews, Jacob Maximal, Abriana Mayfield, Onika Maynard, Karima McCafferty, Robert McCarthy, Andre McCleary, Tehran McClendon, Olivia McConnell, Frederick McCrae, Michael McCurdy, Alasia McFarland, Gianna McGinnis, Carter McGinnis, Grace McGrath, Sarah McGrenna, Thomas McIntosh, Sean MacGyver, Charles McLaurin, Rike McLean, Nevaeh McClendon, Elijah McPherson, Phoebe Maggette Bosick, Zachary Mentor, Amna Mian, Lewis Maloney, Ashani Mills, Samaya Mim, Anaya Mitchell, Asia Mitchell, Charlie Musquari, Ingrid Mo Ball, Cora Moeller, Huey Mung, Siam Mwinden, Ariana Mokbal, Tegan Molesky, Gloria Molashella, Stanley Molly, Angelina Monahan, Prote Mondal, Bridget Mongan, Makai Montgomery, Alexia Mojito, Eric Moody, Darian Moore, Amira Morgan, Tobias Morgan, Keyshawn Morton, Daimir Mosley, Jacob Muhammad, Kimberly Munoz, James Murphy, Camille Murphy, Amani Dorcine Murray, Braha Mustafa, Joyce Nagby, Ankita Nair, Ronan Nangle, Talia Nentai, Naima Nasruddin, Mohamedou Ndai, Marina Dewar, Sana Neal, Siani Neal, Ethan Nye, Femi Nelson, Bayana Newton, Hein Go, Evan Nguyen, Andrea Nguyen, Falong Nguyen, Bo Nguyen, Kylie Nguyen, Hannah Nicholson, Na Nakoi, Tymir Noble, Jaya Noy Jackson, Fred Nwain, Zachary O'Donnell, Alyssa O'Flynn, Eve O'Neill, Michael O'Donnell, Joseph O'Neill, Prophet Ogen Degembi, Victoria Olaney, Jair Oliver, Melissa Oy, Rolando Orapiza, Kevin Ortega, Amar Uzman, Andre Otto, Mariah Uzman.
Rainier Paguillo, Nicholas Palmer, Bruce Palmer, Victoria Pandola, Brianna Parker, Kiara Parker, Stephanie Patino, Sam Patterson, Sierra Payne, Kaya Kalani Payne, Sansia Pert, Mara Pino, Corinne Pino, Natalie Peralta Alberto, Dariella Perez Martinez, Jenny Perez Medina, Zoe Purnell, Malik Perry Fulford, Issa Peters, James Frommer, Kaylee Pham, Ivanka Pasavat, Shaquasia Phelps, Khalil Pierre, Viarde Pierre, Christian Pilco Delgado, Ramik Pinchback, Makai Pickney, Sarah Pitts, Shanina Plummer, William Pomeroy, Aaron Poon, Amin Porter, Aaliyah Porter Jackson, Xavier Powers, Samantha Prandeski, Makai Pressberry, Jaden Prestilio, Nia Prestilio Thomas, Jaden Prill, Brandy Primo, Ryan Proctor, Vincent Polio, Maria Kisby Wahasco, Mahak Koshari, Mohammed Koshari, Samia Ragsdale, Dylan Rahat, Yamin Rahman, Asif Rahman, Sakia Rahman, Afajar Rahman, Jamila Rains, Bushra Raisa, Danalee Ramirez Hernandez, Juan Bastista Ramirez Ramirez, Aditya Rampal, Lorenzo Rankins, Ziara Ravenel, Ashfaq Razaik, Antonio Reason, Azaya Reed, Lael Register, Persephone Reyna, Arslan Riaz, Ruhan Riaz, Christina Ribeiro, Ariel Rice, Chase Richards, Jasir Ridley, Jonathan Riley, Colin Rimmel, Joner Rios Ramirez, Nicholas Reese, Anayas Riviera, Jaden Riviera, Daniel Riviera, Bria Robinson, Michael Rodriguez, Ashley Rodriguez, Nashaya Rowland, Michaela Roll, Kenneth Rollins, Xavier Roman, Adeline Romo, Marquan Rose Seeger, Rachel Rossi, Maya Rowan Jones, Natasha Ruxar, Dylan Ryan Robbins, Sabia Sabrine, Tatiana Sakaseri, Samia Sadia, Shahad Salam, Shakib Salah Hudid, Sofia Salguera Guzman, Jason Salguera Castro, Sarah Salih, Kayla Sample, Joe Sanchez Vasquez, Derek Sanchez Ramos, Nair Sanders, Andrea Sandoval Lorenzo, Sheila Sanguiza Cando, Roland Sarpong, Nala Schrodel, Julia Scott, Taylor Scott, Jabbar Scott, Stephen Seeker, Ken Segla, Anthony Sarah, Lillian Schaefer, Ubaid Shah, Fatima Sahid, Sahed Saqib, Amber Shamus, Kuber Sharma, Ashika Sharma, Gregory Shiki, Bryn Bryn Sheeler, Sarah Sheriff, Dorsey Schultz III, Aram Sahdamid, Brian Silvis, JL Simeon, Jordan Simpson, Dilkan Verpreet Singh, Yuraj Singh, Anurang Singh Jr., Tyrone Slade, Shemaya Smalls Felder, Jacob Smith, Shane Smith, Danielle Smith, Taryn Smith, Kendall Smith, Lindsay Smith, Danae Smith, Kisan Smith, Jada Smith, Eliza Smith, Khalil Smith Rawls, Maya Snednicker, Edward Soloku, Doris Sorber, Musa Soray, Sana Speech, Eric St. Serin, Cameron Steele, Tamia Stevens, Keena Stevenson, Ayana Stevenson, Jasmine Stevenson, Jacob Stewart, Lemuel Stewart, Lucas Stewart, Soran Stokes, Keon Streeter, Joseph Strophe, Sasha Strong, Amani Somerville, Virginia Sumner, Connor Soy, Tashnina Tassabam, Miles Tab, Amanda Tabolo, Ann Mai Tak, Jordan Tafari, Mahir Tajwar, Ahmad Takridi, Anupip Caleb Tan, Naomi Tapia Bargia, Zahirin Tasnim, Zachary Taylor, Alex Taylor, Amira Taylor, Yassine Tazawar, Mason Zuniga, Aisha Tayen, Danny Thatch, Christian Thalisma, Tanaya Thomas, Kadre Thompson, Hezekiah Thornton, Jaden Tuma, Tom Thuong, An Tuong, Isabella Tierney, Constantina Tikos, Vivian Tillman, Matthew Tinney, Brennan Tinney, Christopher Tito, Gregory Toban, Majabin Topater, Trang Tran, Thu Tran, Tyler Trollo, John Troy, Henry Trung, Estafio Saucides, Emily Tully, Rebecca Tully, Kayla Turner, Georgia Taya, Tyrese Hull Gray, Niloy Udin, Sharif Ula, Fahim Ula, Khadija Umer, Maverick Uruchima, Akemini Uwa, Brittany Van, Tyler Veal, Lucas Venuti, Jocelyn Villa Fernandez, Ruth Vondia, Maurice Voss, Dara Wayner, Gabrielle Walcott, Matina Walker, Aswan Warren, Crystal Wasewe, Isan Wasi, LaQueen Waters, Janaya Watford, Kiana Watson, Brandon Watson, Jenna Weekle, Isabel Winger, Caitlin Wenzel, Samaj West, Nyla Westcott, Kamaria White, Tajir Whitney, Danielle Williams, Musin Williams, India Williams, Sincere Williams, Fatumata Williams, Kennedy Williams, Anaya Wilson, Jaquay Wilson, Micah Winters, Maisha Womack, Aaliyah Wood, Jordan Wood Rivers, Leon Woodard, Isaiah Wooten, Kayla Wright, Zafir Wright, Lakai Wright, May Wright, Sandy Wu, Benjamin Yan, Benedict Yan, Barak Yamsi, Marilyn Yanis, Darlington Yeah, James Yacob, Naeem Young, Agela Zacharatos, Jenna Zachary, Angelina Zampatella, Samia Zareen, Prince Zuo. Please join us in congratulating our newest graduates, the Upper Darby High School class of 2022.
Okay. Hello again. As president of the class of 2022, I still have two traditional duties to perform. First, as an outward display of graduation from Upper Darby High School, we will move our tassels from the right side to the left side at this time. Thank you. It is?
Can I help you?
Yeah.
There you go.
Congratulations. As my last act as president, will the junior class president, Tanvir Kaur, please come forward? Traditionally, the president of the graduating class passes the gavel to the president of the junior class. I encourage you and your class to maintain the high standards established here at Upper Darby High School. Please accept this gavel as a traditional symbol of leadership of next year's senior class.
As president of next year's senior class, I thank you for this gavel that symbolizes leadership on behalf of the Upper Darby High School class of 2023. It is my pleasure to welcome Mrs. Kelly Simone, principal of Upper Darby High School, who will offer congratulatory observations.
Before I offer my remarks, I would like to take a moment to recognize the retiring staff members of Upper Darby High School. Together, they have combined over 150 years of service and have had a lasting impact on more lives than we can calculate. Thank you and congratulations to all of our retirees. Every year around this time, I sit with my mother and we talk about the school year. I gather my thoughts for graduation. I share highlights, proud moments, trials and tribulations faced throughout the year. This year was a little different as I was writing my last speech as the principal of Upper Darby High School. I struggled to explain what I was feeling to my mother and my emotions as I am leaving this role. And I continued to talk to her on the back porch. I found myself in your shoes. You are taking a step forward, leaving behind what you know, and taking on the next phase of your work. I realize that as much as I have a special bond with each graduating class, this one is unique because our paths have forged, and we are moving on together, stepping out of our comfort zone and what we know, and tackling the next phase of life, each at different points. My mom asked me what this year's graduating class means to me, and without fail, I repeated resilience, persistence, facing adversity, and the ability to overcome obstacles. As I described you to my mom, she said it reminded her of the pearl, often considered a gemstone. If you are not familiar with how a pearl is made, a pearl comes from a substance in an oyster, a substance stronger than concrete. The formation of the pearl is so unique as it is found in 1 in 10,000 rare oysters. As I spent time thinking about this concept, that a piece of sand or irritant makes its way into the surface of an oyster, and as a defense mechanism, the wall of the oyster uses the substance to combat the irritant, layer upon layer, until the pearl is formed. The very nature of the irritant's existence is the reason for the pearl's creation. It is not the oyster itself or a natural production process, but rather the response to potential harm or adversarial circumstance that results in a beautiful, omniscient object characterized as special and rare. It is the response, the reaction, and the next steps when facing a challenge that produce the most magnificent outcome. I continue to think about that concept in comparison to you and to us. I say us because we have been on a journey and are taking the next steps in life. We are leaving what we have known and moving on to the next phase of our work. But we are not doing so without having faced the iridescent piece of sand, our challenges, our tribulations, and our adversity. How we choose to respond to adversarial circumstances defines us, gives us the substance we need, and creates the opportunity for rarity. Just as the pearl is not completely done, you are not done. You are special and rare, and you will continue to be refined and polished. You face challenge after challenge and battle adversity, and you are not finished. Use what you have inside, embrace what you have endured, and make the most of it. Because you have a choice. You will have to make decisions that will shape who you are and what you become, and it will not always be serene. You will experience failure and you will make mistakes, but it is how you combat the obstacles that defines your success. It is the process by which you handle a small amount of sand or irritant seeping into your refuge that determines whether your final product is a pearl, leaving you the responsibility to refine yourself despite what you face, like the pearl. Speaking of pearl, at this time, I would like fellow classmate Sarah Carter to join me at the podium. I know this is not typical of the principal's speech, but I thought it was apropos to include a student as a representative in this next piece. While Sarah is making her way to the podium, I want to provide context. I have known Sarah since Beverly Hills Middle School. Sarah and I have had many conversations about her journey and transformation as a student in the Upper Darby School District. It was not easy for Sarah, and all of the time she had choices to make and challenges to overcome, similar to some of you. Sarah was also a member of the Turn It Around Club, started by our superintendent, Dr. McGarry, our director of secondary education, Dr. Manfrey, and myself. The club's purpose was to engage those students who seemed disinterested in school to help promote positive school climate and culture and establish positive relationships through leadership empowerment. Dr. McGarry would take the group through a series of case studies about ethical decision-making and impact of justice. And as one of the activities, Dr. McGarry played a clip from the movie Coach Carter. For those of you who don't know the premise of the movie, Coach Carter takes over the head coaching job for a basketball team at his old high school and quickly learns his players are in need of structure and discipline. As part of his expectations, the players must abide by academic standards they are not accustomed to. At one point in the movie, Carter prohibits the team from playing until they improve their grades. However, this is sadly overturned by his superiors. Just when Carter is about to quit, he is shocked to find his players in the gym with teachers studying and working to bring their grades back up and fulfill Carter's original intention of pursuing academic achievement before continuing to play their next game. And it's at that moment that one of the players stands up and reads the following.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Do not be afraid and recognize the importance of true self-determination and discipline. Have confidence and let your light shine.
As I listen to Sarah, I'm reminded of the work you do every day, the challenges you face, and the obstacles you overcome. I'm inspired by the resilience, the toughness, and the endurance you have, the accomplishments you have secured, and the excellence that you have demonstrated. You are the pearl. You are leaving the high school, overcoming adversity and roadblocks, but you, like the pearl, are not finished. When people ask me how many kids I have, my pearls, I say that I have 2 biological sons and 4,000 children. I will never forget this class as we are moving on together. We will always have a connection and we will always share this moment in time. Class of 2022, remember your light, remember your resilience, and when you have the opportunity, embrace the adversarial moments, continue to refine yourself, let your process be that of endurance, do not be afraid, and have confidence in who you are. Be the pearl. I am more than proud to stand here as your principal one last time, and I wish you the very best. Congratulations. Speaking of one last time, it is my pleasure to welcome Mr. William Hensel, Assistant Principal of the Class of 2022, to offer his closing remarks.
Good afternoon. I would like to begin by thanking President Brown and the School Board of Directors. I would also like to thank Dr. McGarry and Central Administration. I'm so excited to be here for this event. It's the culmination of 4 years of hard work by our students, staff members, and families. Thank you all for being here to celebrate this special occasion. When I was younger, I never dreamed that I would be in education or that I would be the assistant principal for the class of 2022. I was an average academic student. I was never in an AP or an honors course. Let's just say I didn't do too well in the 7th grade and had to try at it again. Not exactly the best start for a future assistant principal. When I graduated high school, I wasn't looking to attend prestigious schools like some of you. I wouldn't have dreamed of acceptance to institutions like Cornell, Georgetown, Drexel, or Temple. I was extremely excited to have a chance to go to Williamson Trade School for horticulture, where I would learn to be a landscaper. I didn't get into Williamson at first, so my plan was to attend Delaware County Community College and transfer to a 4-year school, as I have advised many of you to do. After getting my teaching certification, I landed at Upper Darby High School, but that is the nature of our lives. You plan to get to one place, but you end up somewhere else. As many of you know, it's with sadness that I'll be leaving the Upper Darby family to pursue my next dream of running a career in technical education school and eventually pursue my doctorate. I share this message because my message for the class is that it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. You may be familiar with the stories of famous individuals like Michael Jordan, who didn't make the varsity basketball team as a sophomore. Bill Gates was a Harvard dropout. Albert Einstein couldn't speak fluently until the age of 9. Abraham Lincoln suffered a nervous breakdown related to his failing business ventures and lost an election prior to winning one and becoming one of the most influential presidents in history. When I think about the class of 2022, I think about the example that you set of overcoming challenges and reaching success. There's probably not a single person in this graduating class who cannot reflect on a challenge that they had in the course of their 4 years to get to this point. There are members of the class of 2022 who in the last 4 years have experienced failure, some related to coursework and some related to making bad choices. Some of you have lost friends, family, and important members of your support structure. Some of you have struggled to attend school for various reasons, and some of you struggle to complete schoolwork because of your own children or because you have to support your families. You have overcome numerous barriers and roadblocks while the world went through a pandemic, only to exacerbate all of your struggles, but you are here today. It's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. Although today's commencement is a culminating event, the end of 12 years of school, what I really think and reflect on are the next years of your life. You have made it, and you've all done it your own way. I hope that you've learned from this journey. I hope that you feel that Upper Darby High School provided you with the foundation you need to start the next chapter of your life. I hope there were moments of joy and excitement, pride, and a sense of accomplishment. I've worked at Upper Darby High School for 17 years, so I've had the opportunity to see graduates out in the world working, and what most of them say to me is that they wish that they were in high school all over again to do it differently. As they say in athletics, I hope you left it all on the field. Although today is a moment to reflect on your past and your history, I hope that it is more of a day to look forward to the future, to the next chapter of your life. For some of you, that may be Cornell, Georgetown, or Temple, but for others, it will be a job, a trade school, a community college, or a military branch. I wish you all the happiness in the world moving forward. I hope that you are proud and excited for your next step, whatever it is. Remember, it's not about where you start, it's all about where you finish. There is no future for you that is unattainable, and it is all there for the taking. As you know, the last few years here, our graduation ceremony has been at one of the area's most historical music venues, the Tower Theater. As I looked forward to the opportunity to get on the stage at the Tower and address the graduating class, I wanted to play a song by an artist known as Cat Stevens, who later changed his name to Yusuf Islam. Obviously, when Dr. McGarry and Miss Simone heard that I would be singing and playing guitar, they found us a beautiful venue in a basketball arena. Thank you to everyone that worked to hold our graduation at this venue so we could accommodate more family and friends. At UD's Got Talent this spring, graduate Alonzo Good and I performed the Cat Stevens song, "If You Want to Sing Out, Sing Out." I wanted to highlight a few of the lyrics for the graduates today, and lucky for you, I won't be singing them. You can do what you want, the opportunity's on, and if you find a new way, you can do it today. You can make it all true, or you can make it undo. You see, it's easy. You only need to know. In closing, I want to leave you with one more quote from C.S. Lewis. This quote has been at the bottom of Mr. Peterkin's emails to the class of 2022 all year. I'm excited that next year he will be the assistant principal for the class of 2023 and stand where I am standing now. The quote reads, "You cannot go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending." In other words, it's not about where you start. It's about where you finish and what are you going to do today to get where you want to be. Thank you to the Upper Darby family and to the class of 2022. I'll carry you in my heart forever. As his final act as our class president, please welcome to the podium again for the last time, Timothy Tran, the president of the class of 2022.
My cap is falling off, I'm sorry. Take this off. Please rise and join us in the singing of our alma mater.
Castle of our dreams.
We process.